Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and Auld Lang Syne? Hey, it's Nate with another piano tutorial. Today I'm going to be doing Auld Lang Syne. So whether you're ringing in the new year or just want to learn it because you love it, this video will help you do an awesome sounding cover on piano. This is an interesting one because there's so many different versions of it. There's lots of different versions of the verse lyrics, and there's some variation in how the chords harmonize the melody. What all versions have in common is that amazing, uplifting vocal melody, which I think is why this song is so enduring. I'll show you how to play the main verse and chorus with the chord progression that I think sounds the best, and then you can take that and run with whichever lyrics you like best. As an option, I'm also going to show you how to play it in a second key so that you can be sure your singing sounds its best. Let's just jump in. Alright, so first off, I recommend getting the chords and lyrics chart. That'll help you follow along and see where the chords line up with the words. There are two different versions with two different links, so I'm going to quickly play the first line in each key so you can figure out which one is going to suit your voice better. Try singing along here just to get a sense. This is the key of G. First vocal note is should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind. So it goes as high as mind. Okay, and here is the key of C. First vocal note is should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind. So it goes as high as mind. As you can see, it's a little high for me. I prefer singing it in G. So I'll show you in G first. So here's the chord progression. First chord out is going to be a G. So that's just G, B, and D in the right hand. This is middle C right there. And then in the left hand, I'm just going to do single bass notes on the note the chord is named after. I'm going to put my thumb down on this G. So then the next chord is an E minor. Left hand's going to come down to this E bass note. The only thing that needs to change in the right hand is the pinky is just going to move up to this E here. So we got G, B, and E. That's an inversion on a E minor chord. So it flows really smoothly between those two chords. Next we've got an A minor 7. So we're gonna have to stretch the left hand thumb up just a little bit to this A. And I'm actually gonna keep these outside notes that we did for that E minor in the same spot. And we're gonna add an A and a C. So 4 notes there for that minor 7 sound. So that's G, A, C, and E. And then finally we've got this D7 to finish out this line. Left hand's gonna come down to a D bass note. And I'm gonna play these 2 notes again and put the thumb on an F sharp. So we've got F sharp, A, and C. Before we go any further, this song is in 4/4 time, so that means that each of these measures gets 4 counts. And so these first 2 measures are just divided in half with 2 chords in each measure, each getting 2 counts. So it's gonna be like G, 2, E minor, 4, A minor 7, 2, D7, 4. And I'm actually gonna just pulse on quarter note chords, so just play the chord on every count. So like G, 2, E minor, 2, A minor 7, D7. Let's keep going. So this next line, we're back to that G. And then we've got this G7. The only thing that needs to change is we're just gonna drop this thumb down to an F. And then we're gonna go all the way down. Pinky hits this C. So this is an inversion on a C. Our thumb can stay on this G. And we got a C and an E there. 2, 3. I would say this next one is a little bit optional. I really like how it sounds, the C sharp diminished. So the only thing that changes here is this C goes up to a C sharp, and then the C that we're already playing in the right hand also goes up to the C sharp. Now these little dashes here are meant to represent counts in the measure. So this one is not just evenly divided between the C and the C sharp diminished. It's 3 counts of C, and then you just hit that C sharp diminished on the last count. So that whole line would be like, never brought to mind. 2, 3, should. So you can just think of it as on that should all, going back up to the G for the next line. This next line is a lot like the first line. The only difference is that right at the end, we have this a B7 over a D sharp. It happens kind of just on the last count. And from the D7, we step up in the left hand to that D sharp. And then the only thing that needs to change in the right hand is moving that C down to a B. Should old acquaintance be forgot and old? So you can just think of it on the and then we've got E minor 7. Now, you could also do the E minor as we've been doing it. I kind of like doing the minor 7 here. So that's going to basically be, you're doing the E bass note, and then the right hand does essentially a G major chord, G, B, D. Auld Lang Syne. So just to finish this out, we've got C as we've been doing it, then C over D. So we just keep that C chord the same way. We just step up to a D bass note here, and then we finish out the verse on G. The timing there is E minor 7, 2, because it's got that little dash, and then just C, C over D on counts 3 and 4 of that measure, G, 2, 3, 4. Cool. That's really all you need to know for the verse. I'm going to add a little bit more in the left hand here, just totally optional, but probably do a little bit more rhythm where I'm going to be thinking in eighth notes. So not just 1, 2, 3, 4, but dividing that beat in half. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and sometimes I'll do 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and. So just hitting on the and after 2 or the and after 4. I made a video all about this rhythm because it's really common. So if you need a little extra help with it, you can check that out. And finally, on some of those rhythms, I'll do a little bit of stepping. So between the G and the E minor, 1, 2 and 3, just between that G and that E, just kind of stepping my way down in the key of G, which is an F sharp there. I might also throw it in on the last line, like E minor, do, 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 do. Just stepping on the D on my way down to C. All right, here's the whole verse. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and Auld Lang Syne? Cool. So let's look at the chorus. And actually, the chorus is literally the same thing as the verse, but I've swapped out the first chord. Instead of a G, I'm going to play a B minor. So that's going to sound like, for Auld Lang Syne, my dear. So that's going to be a B bass note. So just got to move the left hand up a little bit from where we had it. Right hand's going to do an F sharp, a B, and a D. For old, and then you can kind of pivot pretty easy to the E minor there, just keeping the third finger on the B. Now, not every version does this B minor here. I really like the Ingrid Michaelson version, which definitely does that. It's a minor 3 chord in the key. If it sounds funny to you, you can totally just skip it and just do the G like we did in the verse. A lot of versions just do that. Okay, cool. If you want the song to go around longer again, you can do more verses with different lyrics. A lot of different versions out there. If you just Google different versions for lyrics for Auld Lang Syne, you'll find a lot of verses, so you can kind of pick and choose how you want to sing it. But now I'm going to play it through in the key of C. I'll briefly talk through it, but I'm going to go a little faster this time. So if you're doing it in the key of C here, but you need a little extra help with the rhythm and stuff, you can check out the section before this one. So here's the chords for the verses in the key of C. We've got C, so we're up here on middle C, and I'm just doing the C in the left hand. So we've got C to A minor 2, so we're just moving our pinky up, C, E, A, to D minor 7, so thumb stays on C, C, D, F, A. And then for the G7, we can keep those 2 fingers there and just drop our thumb down. Just, that's all we need for that. And then for the C, C7, we're just gonna drop our thumb down to the B flat. Then we've got F, that's C, F, and A, and we're gonna do that for 3 counts, and on beat 4, we're just gonna sharp both the Fs up to F sharp. Should old acquaintance, same thing again here, be forgot. We just have this really quick E7 over G sharp, so we're just gonna sharp this G up in the left hand and drop the F down to E. And then we've got A minor 7, just basically a C major chord here in the right hand. And then we've got F, so notice you can just keep the thumb on C, it's C, F, A. And then F over G, C. And then here's the chords for the chorus. You'll notice it's the exact same thing with the exception of the first chord being an E minor. So to do that, the left hand needs to come up and put the thumb here on E. And we're just gonna drop the right hand thumb down from where it was on the C before. Do it like that. B, E, G, for Auld Lang. So between the getting from that E minor to the A minor, you can just pivot off the 3rd finger. And then everything else is the same. Okay, thanks for sticking with me. I am now going to do a full run through, actually 2 full run throughs of just a verse and a chorus, once in the key of G, once in the key of C. And again, your version may be longer. You can just go around again on the verse, chorus, and use whichever version of the lyrics you like best. If this video was helpful, please do subscribe, click the bell so you know when I put out more videos like this, and leave a request in the comments. All right, here's Auld Lang Syne in the key of G major. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and Auld Lang Syne? For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for Auld Lang Syne. Okay, and here's the same thing in the key of C, which is a little bit too high for my voice, but I'll do my best. Should all